Welcome everyone to the Rotary Club of Greenville on this exciting day. I'm looking forward. We've got a musical component that a number of people on our programs committee have been looking forward to for a while, and I hope you'll enjoy it. And we also have the president of the Governor's School for Arts and Humanities, a really shining institution in our community, to share with us what is going on at his school. So without further ado, we'll get started on our program, and I'd like to invite Rebecca up to deliver our invocation and pledge. Well, please pray with me. Gracious God, we thank you for this time together, for the friends around these tables, for those we know and those we don't know. Bless our time together and help us to be your good servants in this community and to make it a better place through our collective efforts in this club. This we ask in your holy name. Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the social committee has a message for us, and they also have a great video too.
No. Yeah, I hope everybody has seen our video that Jenny texted out. So our next meeting will not be here. If you show up at 12 o'clock on March 28th, you will show up to an empty room. We will be at Spare Time at 5:30 p.m., Spare Time on Congaree, and that is our spring social. Bring a guest, bring your spouse. If you don't have a spouse, bring your significant other. Just be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be tons of food, 2 drink tickets, plenty of non-alcoholic drinks for those that don't imbibe, and we're going to bowl. How many of you have bowled in, say, the last year? Okay, that's good. That's good. Anybody out there never bowled before in their life? Oh, that's good too. Okay, so March 28th, 5:30 to 7:30, Spare Time on Congaree. We'll see you there.
Hello, I'm Sandra Nyblom, and I'm going to announce some guests that we have visiting. So if the guests could please stand so we can recognize you and welcome you to our Rotary Club. We have Tom Von Cannell, guest of Lorraine Holman. Welcome. Lauren Vaughn, guest of the club. Travis Waters, guest of George Fletcher. Welcome. Lily Gabriel, guest of Elizabeth Rasser. Charlie Hall, guest of Shannon Sports. Ingrid Versu, did I pronounce that right? Guest of Connie Lanzel. And then we have some visiting Rotarians, Dave Brenner. Welcome. And Doc Giddings from the Pickens Club. And we'd like to welcome our talented performers for the Governor's School, Henri Pelletier, Kate Tolchinsky, and Peyton Mann. I hope I didn't butcher your names. Welcome.
Good afternoon and happy Pie Day. And I'm not talking about the convection that is missing from our dessert cart today. I'm talking about the mathematical constant that starts out with 3.125. And I was going to do the whole thing, Wade, but I know you'd probably get the hook. I'm here for other mathematical reasons. I'm here to update you on CART, or Cash for Alzheimer's Research Trust. This is an important time of year for us. It's the grant selection season program. Starting last September, a call for applications went out to the prime institutions of the country that were considered strong in Alzheimer's research, a little less than 100 folks. By the deadline in December, CART received 30 applications. Our former district governor, Dr. Gary Goforth, collected the applications. Gary's a physician who practiced for years down in Greenwood before moving to Florida. He assembled all the applications, sent them to the grant screening committee, consisting of 3 outstanding researchers in the field. They selected 12 to recommend to the CART board for selections in April, coming up. I might add that these researchers serve without any compensation whatsoever. The board will then select, from the advice from the screening committee, 5 candidates who will receive grants which will range, at this point, somewhere between $150,000 and $250,000. The awards will be presented at the annual CART board meeting and banquet this year, which will be held here in Greenville on May the 1st and 2nd. Write the word CART down on May 1st and 2nd in the calendar on your phone. More details will come, but it should be an interesting time. This is a Rotary effort that is supported by 450 clubs only in the southeastern states. Now, on other local mathematical news, Pam Weaver sent me a note to let me know that as of our fiscal date right now, we have gathered about $2,700 in the blue buckets since the start of our fiscal year. Sounds good, but that's only $50 more than where we were last year. So I'm going to ask you to make sure you keep your pace up in contributing to the blue bucket, because anyone who, if you know anyone who has died or been touched by the Alzheimer's disease, we're here to try to make that go away. And then to that end, this month, our CART match sponsor is Lucy Hendry, a Rotary person here since 2020. She jumped right into the Kringle Holiday Village Committee. She chairs the teacher lunch efforts at Alexander Elementary and loves reading at Alexander. She also is in charge of business development and training at First Son EAP. And I have to admit, I had no idea what EAP stands for. So it means Employee Assistance Program. First Son's website says they're all about relationships. They're all about trust. They're all about results. And if you're in touch with your employees, you know that people now are struggling, juggling multiple responsibilities, divisiveness, reduced productivity, skill gaps, and skyrocketing mental health crisis that have been created by our everyday challenges. The effect of these continuous challenges on your company's supervisors and management teams is overwhelming. So as your partner, First Son successfully services these challenges daily by combining three essential components: well-being services, tailored solutions, and integrated resources. They've created a winning combination that fulfills customers' well-being challenges for work, home, and life. Lucy is a licensed professional counselor and a certified employee assistance professional. She's married to Beth Kelly. They love the mountains and outdoor activities. They have two fur babies, Maddie, a 12-year-old Basset Hound, and my first dog was a Basset Hound. I love those. And Khaki, a 5-year-old Aussie Doodle, which my wife is actually shopping for right now. So be sure and drop a few bucks in the bucket, and remember CART at our social coming up. Let's make Lucy pay. Thanks so much.
Good morning. I'm Caroline Stewart. I'm here to introduce two new members. So Alex Darst and Luke Rhodes, will you join me up here? Okay, good morning. So Alex Darst is a professional realtor with Prime Realty. He is a Bob Jones University graduate. And when I asked him for a fun fact, his comment was that he liked to play golf and fish. Now, you all know here in the club, we have this issue about punctuation and pauses in what we say, how we say things. And so you can play golf and fish, or you can play golf and fish. I play golf and fish. That means when the ball goes in the water hole, I fish for it. So which one do you play? Golf and fish? You're with me on that one, yeah. So that's the way I play golf and fish. We're glad to have you with us. Thank you. Would you like to share anything else about yourself? No, good. Okay. Not to knock your golf game at all, okay. Luke Rhodes joins us. He is a commercial insurance specialist. He was born in Anderson, but decided that Greenville is better, and he's moving to Greenville soon. I'm just ribbing you on that one. Luke, I gave Luke the third degree when we had our new member social a couple weeks ago, and really enjoyed talking to him and getting some hints from him about some things. But when I asked him for a fun fact, he said that he can take a computer apart and put it back together. So I have a little problem with this one, and I thought I would get him to work on it after the meeting today. But he has been gracious enough to help with our Zoom meetings and everything. So we're excited to have both of you all in the club. Thank you for joining us.
So I'm Ramona, and I'm honored to be recognizing 3 of our newer members who are transitioning from the red badge to the blue badge. So if I call your names, if you could come up, please. Jackie Berkshire, Mary Brenner, and Luke Rhodes. Any of you here? Luke is here. Okay, but by example. So we'll change out from red to blue, which is really a privilege to be able to give you that. And I'll say, and then I'm going to say, we'll be all official, putting it on right away. Yep, that's good. So say it for a minute. So with, just wanted to comment, right? So as new members coming in, one of the beauty of having the red badge is it allows us, existing Rotarians, an opportunity to come up, say hello, introduce ourselves, and make you feel more engaged and part of the club. And what's exciting about, I'm looking, so here's Luke, a newer member, part of the AV team, very engaged. Sandra, not to put you on the spot, but also a red badge member, very engaged, right? Willing to come up and help with greeting, with introducing new members. And about our Rotary Club, right? We are about service, but also it is about networking and being involved and being part of the bigger community. And you're already a great example of that. So thank you. And then the other two individuals, Mary and Jackie, make sure you acknowledge them. They'll be wearing their blue badges hopefully next time. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Beth, and we have the privilege today of recognizing some new or multiple Paul Harris Fellows, and then we're going to also recognize some benefactors. Quick advertisement for the challenge match going on for the foundation. The governor's match is going on right now through April, and you're getting double matching points if you give during this time, because our club will also match your points. I've been asked, how do you make sure you get double matching points? Answer, easy. Just give the way you normally do, and I will make sure they're picked up on the district side and on the club side. So you will get weekly reminders from District Governor Joyce. And so a good time to become a Paul Harris Fellow or become a multiple Paul Harris Fellow. See me if you have any questions. Now we have the honor of recognizing a number of Paul Harris Fellows, starting with Marshall Johnson. We have a +1 who is Sunny Honda. Sunny's usually here. Okay. Okay. Legislature's in session, so I bet you Jason Elliott is not here. You'll see Jason. Will you also see Wade Call?
Yes.
You'll see Wade. Okay. Lisa Mangione. Then we have a number of +3s. Ron DeMonet. Robert. Oh, Bob Morris. Bob Morris. Okay. And Penny Robbins. Penny Robbins. Okay. Now we have some +4s. Scott Powell. Yeah, so Scott. And Lisa Minnick. We have 2 +6s, Ramona Farrell and Connie Lansell. We have 1 +7, Bert Strange. Remember the pause. Don't do it with the pause. And Jane Dyer is a +8. A Paul Harris Fellow recognizes people who give at the level of either $1,000 or a combination of money and matching points. It honors the founder of Rotary, Paul Harris, and it's also a sign of your commitment to the Rotary Foundation, and it's your way to ensure that we as Rotarians can keep doing good in the world through our donations. We also, for the first time in a long time, are going to recognize 2 benefactors today, Wade and Roger Heisig, who have become benefactors. A benefactor is someone who wants to leave a legacy that's going to survive them when they are no longer around, to make sure they continue doing good in the world. It's a commitment of at least $1,000 legacy giving, meaning you don't notice it because you're gone. And it's a good way to make sure that the good work we do through the Rotary Foundation, both locally and on a global level, continues. So Wade, on behalf of the Rotary Foundation Board of Trustees, I present you your benefactor award and your wings. Sometimes wings mean you have to not be here, but these are legacy wings, but you can wear them for many, many years, attach them to your club pin or to a Paul Harris Fellow pin. And also, Roger, to you, a benefactor certificate, and your benefactor wings. Thank you so much. Thank you all for what you do for the foundation, and especially thank you to benefactors. You too can become a benefactor.
Before Beth leaves the podium, she deserves some credit and honor as well. So you all know that our challenge this year is to do three things: to work at Pringle Holiday Village, to work for Alexander Elementary School, and to get one person to discover Rotary. I think we've had about a dozen people step up to that challenge. They get these special 3 stickers to put on their badge, and Beth joins that elite group. No surprise for all she does for Rotary. So congratulations. So now we get to the real entertainment today. Our students from the Governor's School for Arts and Humanities will be playing for us for about 10, 15 minutes, something like that. And then Dr. Adderley will be speaking for the balance of the time. So I'll come up after they finish their performance and introduce briefly Dr. Adderley, and we'll hear from him. But I'd encourage your attention to these performers and request your respectful silence while they play. This isn't background music. I think this is a very high quality performance, and I know you all will enjoy it. So thanks very much. And that as they get ready, I think we're about ready to go. So thank you all very much. Thank you again to our wonderful performers. I keep on messing with this microphone. I don't know that Dr. Adderley needs much of an introduction. So rarely do we have a speaker come and then we actually get to see the fruits of his good work and that of his colleagues. And that's just a marvelous introduction for him. But I will still give him a brief introduction before he takes the podium and speaks to us. So Dr. Adderley, as I mentioned, is the president of the Governor's School for Arts and Humanities. He has an extensive background in accreditation, curriculum and instruction, faculty development, and general education reform, and has served as an accreditation evaluator for the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, the Higher Learning Commission of the North Central Association, and the National Association of Schools of Music. An accomplished composer and music educator, Dr. Adderley enjoys a multifaceted career and maintains an active schedule of artistic engagements throughout the United States and abroad. He has earned numerous accolades, including winning the Detroit Symphony Orchestra's annual composer search for his Symphony No. 1 and being selected as Composer of the Year by the South Carolina Music Teachers Association for his Suite for Young Voices. So Dr. Adderley, it's a privilege to have you with us, and thank you for leading this great institution. We look forward to hearing from you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for that very kind introduction. I'm going to take this off because I tend to wander around the room when I speak. It's good to be back with you. It's been several years, and it's always good to speak about what I have the privilege of doing every day to a group of concerned citizens in the state of South Carolina. I'm not sure if it came through in my bio, my introduction, but I am a South Carolinian, born and bred right here in this state, grew up in Columbia, and it's good to be here working for the Governor's School because we serve the entire state of South Carolina. I was really pleased to see the icebreaker question about your most notable musical experience, and this representation of our students' work. Having had a 30-plus year career in education, those are my notable experiences as an educator, seeing the product of the work of our students and our faculty come out in great performances. Because I've had a front row seat to that every year from the time I was a first-year teacher. So as an educator, that's what we look forward to. We look forward to those fruits of our labor. As a performer, I was very fortunate enough to have an incredibly moving, let's say, pivotal musical experience where I got to play with Ray Charles by accident. And I tell that story to people because I'm a mentee of one of the great South Carolina musicians, Dick Goodwin. If you ever spent any time in Columbia in the music scene, you know him. He's a great musician, great composer, great educator, and also a booking agent. And it just happened to be when Ray Charles came to town, Dick was supposed to play, but he double booked himself. So he had to play somewhere in Dillon, I believe. And I got to play in Columbia with Ray Charles because we both play trumpet. So I got to play with Ray Charles by accident, and by far one of the most incredible music experiences of my life. But you didn't come here to hear me talk about myself. I want to talk a bit about what I have come to know as a model for public education, and that is the Governor's School for the Arts and Humanities. And hopefully, over the course of the next 10, 15 minutes or so, you can really believe what I say, because I always ask people to listen to what I say and the product of the fruits of our labor, working every day for students all throughout the state. But at some point, I hope that those of you who haven't already had the opportunity to visit our campus and visit with our students, really do that. And when you come to our campus and when you meet other individuals affiliated with our school, like the young people that we had here today, ask them if what I'm saying is true. And I think you will also find out from them that we are indeed a model for public education. At the Governor's School, we have a mission of serving the talented students of South Carolina in pre-professional programs in the arts. And our mission is also to serve all of the students and all of the teachers throughout the state of South Carolina. That's a pretty tall order. But I'll tell you how we have accomplished doing that and how we will continue shaping students throughout the state of South Carolina. Primarily, we serve more students in our summer programs than we do during our residential high school. Our summer programs, I call them 5+1. We have them in creative writing, dance, drama, music, and visual arts. Those are the same 5 programs that we have students on our campus for the residential high school, but we have them for several weeks at a time in rotating fashion, depending upon their grade level, generally from 7th grade on up through 12th grade, for a few weeks at a time, depending upon their area of concentration. But the +1 is that this summer we'll be adding film studies to our offerings. And film, being one of those collaborative art areas, is something that we've been studying on how we can fit that into our offerings for the last 8 years or so, since I started my tenure at the school. So this summer we've gone to 5 programs plus 1 new program. And we're really excited to get that going for middle school students this summer. During the fall of '24, we will add film to one of our residential offerings, and we will not have just 5 art areas for our students that come to us in residence, but we will also add film. So I'm really pleased to see that over the course of over 20 years that the Governor's School has been in existence, we'll be able to grow from 5 art areas to 6 art areas on our campus. Now, we are a residential high school, and I'm pleased to see that we're able to still grow as an arts center, a center for arts education in our state, and still do what we were founded to do in classically trained classic art education, but also move into the 21st century with what more art schools are offering and offering collaborative experiences. So at our residential high school 20 years ago, we were very much pleasantly pleased with the work we're doing in our silos of music, drama, visual art, dance, and creative writing. But now, as of late, we've been able to collaborate among our departments and produce full-blown musicals, full-blown films, many opportunities for our creative writing students and our music students to collaborate. And now we're moving into more of a collaborative arts experience than a siloed art experience. So if you have the opportunity to visit our campus, you'll see more of those collaborative performances and collaborative productions, not simply between our students, but also between our faculty in various departments. Do we have a clicker for that? Oh, thank you so much. Okay, we talked about our mission, and here we are talking about our academic programs right here. That third bullet, where I left off, is our outreach programs. Our outreach programs are the third component of our mission that I'm really pleased to say also allows us to impact the entire state of South Carolina. In order for us to be of service to all of the teachers and all of the students throughout our state, every student and every teacher cannot come to Greenville to participate in what we offer. So what we do, we go to them. We offer virtual resources. We offer field trips to campus where they do come to our campus, but we also go out with guest artist experiences, hosting teacher retreats and professional development activities in all 46 counties of the state. Now, if you've kept up with the way education is funded in the state, depending upon the school district, the cost per pupil is about $6,000, $7,000, $10,000, depending on the district. Ours is about twice that. And in order to be good stewards of the state's money, it's important for me as the leader of the governor's school to make sure that we are affecting as many bodies as possible with the resources that are afforded to our students. Of course, being a residential high school, it's going to cost a bit more to house a student on the campus. But again, as a public residential high school, it's important for us to go out into the state and ensure that every student and every teacher who wants to benefit from this intensive arts experience that we house on our campus and the resources that we have, we've got to share those resources with as many people as possible. And because of that, being very focused on affecting as many people as possible and as many programs as I show you right here, we are incredibly effective in making sure the state has a good return on their investment. These are some of the fast facts that I believe prove that we have a good return on our investment. Our residential capacity is 238 students at a time. So during the summer programs, we will be full every week with at least 238 students from across all 46 counties of the state and all those programs that I mentioned from 7th grade on through high school. During the school year, we have a residential capacity of 238 students every year. It's important to note that we are a tuition-free public high school because oftentimes when you hear the name governor's school, you think it's going to be private. And yes, we are selective to a degree, but it's important that we provide whatever resources are necessary for any student to come and attend our programs. For that, we have a foundation that raises money, and we never want to allow finances to prohibit a student from taking advantage of this, again, tuition-free public high school. Because of those wraparound services that we provide in guidance, in counseling, in mentoring throughout traditional academics and the arts, our students excel on our campus. We've been nationally recognized by U.S. News and World Report and Washington Post and other publications for the work of our students and the achievement of our students, both academically and artistically. And that really shows that we're worth every penny invested in this public school. Our outreach initiatives this past year reached over 97,000 individuals throughout the state. If that's not a good return on your investment, I don't know what is, because in my opinion, it would be highway robbery, and you can quote me on that, to spend the cost per pupil that we have on 238 students at a time tucked away in our res hall. So we go out to the communities throughout the state, and we hope to continue eclipsing that number year after year after year, reinvesting our resources into every county in the state of South Carolina to make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to do and reaching the mission of the governor's school. Now, oftentimes people say, well, what is it that students do with an arts education? We're STEM-focused state. We want to make sure that we take care of science and technology and math and all these great things that students can do to stay ahead technologically than other nations. Well, these are some of the success stories I'd like to just lift up for a brief moment. Patina Miller, young lady from Pageland, South Carolina. Anybody ever been to Pageland? Never been to the Watermelon Festival? Okay. Pageland's a small town about the size of the Western Poinsett. And she graduated and got a scholarship to Carnegie Mellon. She's a drama student, Immediately upon graduation was cast on Broadway, cast on CBS. Right now she appears on Madam Secretary, but she won the Tony Award for her role in Pippin and is quite an outstanding young lady and has had a great career since graduating from the governor's school. We like to say because of her work at the governor's school. But she's one of those success stories that if you turn on the TV, you might see. This young man, Jonathan Spigner, from this area, from Greenville, outstanding dance student. I always tell individuals that I meet, if you have a young man interested in dance, you'll never pay a penny for college and he will be employed immediately. Jonathan Spigner, great example, but that generally is the case because of the lack of male dancers in the profession. Graduated, immediately became the principal dancer for the Hong Kong Ballet. And just returned to Greenville last month, so I'm glad to see that the Hong Kong Ballet comes through Greenville County almost every year, but it's really good to see a young man from this area, from our school, to go on to be the lead dancer in an internationally ballet company, which generally is the case, again, because male dancers are a hot commodity in the dance field. Maggie Gould. I lift up Maggie Gould because she's also someone that has achieved at a very high level in a very competitive field. If you are a soprano, if you're a flutist, if you are a violinist, they really come a dime a dozen. It's the most competitive instrument, one of the most competitive instruments to make a living. She makes a living playing violin in New York. So it's really, really difficult. But again, because of the challenge of the challenging curriculum, the challenging experiences of the governor's school, Maggie's done quite well and has played all over the world. And you'll see her in the pit orchestras from time to time on these televised productions. Fantastic alumnus of the governor's school. But it's also important for me to show you a bit about some of the other things that students do outside of the arts because of that governor's school experience. We can talk about the effect of the arts and the need for the arts all day long, but at some point, someone doesn't want to hear about the arts. So here's a good example right here. Vince Mao, one of our early graduates, was a music student at the governor's school, but decided that he wanted to have a career outside of the arts. So he got not one, not two, but 3 degrees from Duke University, and is now a word that I can't pronounce, a microprocessor in technology. He resides in Columbia. But this is very common for our students, although we love for our students to move on into careers and advanced study in the arts. Many of them go on to careers in STEM programs, in law, in medicine, in education. And we're very proud to see that we have that effect upon our students and giving them the wraparound services that they can be excellent in whatever they choose, even if it's not in the arts. We want to give them a well-rounded arts education, but that slogan of "we are where young artists live, learn, and thrive," they thrive in whatever their passion may be, whether it is in the arts or outside of the arts. We like to say that they're successful because of that governor's school experience and not simply in the arts. Now, Lonnie Russell, last one, I believe. Music student from Summerville, South Carolina, finished the Greenville Med School right here, and he's beyond the Emory University School of Medicine. He is now a full-blown doctor. He's out of school now, but Lonnie Russell's a piano student that moved on into the medical profession after graduating from the governor's school. Now, I'm not an economist. I don't play one on TV, but I encourage you to take a look at the South Carolina Arts Commission's 2023 study about the impact of the arts on the state of South Carolina. So I know that I am in a room full of business people who are very concerned about the state's economy. And these are some great numbers looking at the impact that arts-related jobs have on our state. Got 123,550 jobs paying $5.7 billion in our economy. That's 5.5% of the total employment base in the state of South Carolina. the $360 million figure, estimated tax revenue generated for the state in arts-related fields, and the $14.1 billion total economic impact of the South Carolina arts-related cluster of music, art, media, and design. So clearly the arts matter in this state, and clearly there's a huge return on investment in our school, but also arts-related investing in the state of South Carolina, because arts and tourism are often tied together. But just the impact that the schools like ours, us being the only residential art school in the state, but other arts-focused schools in the state, really make a difference. And that is why I'm so passionate about being an arts educator, and especially being an arts educator at this particular school, because we really do have an impact on the entire state of South Carolina. And it's great to make a difference in a school district that affects a community or a county. But for me, having grown up in this state and knowing the state very well, I'm incredibly passionate about having this type of impact on the entire state of South Carolina, because we really do make a difference. And I hope that if you have an interest, you'll come and visit us, learn a little bit more about what we do on our campus every day. Our website has our performance calendar listed. You can come and attend the performance, but if you'd like to have a tour, we offer tours throughout the week, throughout the year, just so you'll know a little bit more about where your tax dollars go and the impact that it has on education and changing lives in the state. We really are where young artists live, learn, and thrive. And these young people at this table, they're a testament to that. So I hope that we dismiss early enough so that you can have some conversations with them, as well as with their mentor, Dr. Lauren Vaughn, who is also a product of our campus and the University of South Carolina. Nothing against Clemson. They have a great music program too. I know where I am. But we have a lot of passion on our campus, and I really would like to invite you to visit and see some of that passion in action, because we really go through this great work every day, and you won't see anything like this anywhere else. So with that, I believe I'm out of time. I can absolutely hang around for questions. I saw a hand go up real quick over here. There's a huge advantage for the residential program because it allows students the time to focus. When they live on the campus, they live in that community, they live in that supportive environment, and the distractions that come with being at home, not that home is not a great place. I've got two boys at home now. One of them's at the Governor's School for Science and Math in Hartsville, but it allows kids the time to focus with plenty of resources that allow them to excel beyond what they would in a traditional program. Fine Arts Center is a fine program. It really is. I'm glad you went through that. But that's the biggest opportunity they have. Right here. To my knowledge, every high school and middle school in Greenville County has a pretty good cadre of outstanding arts teachers. I don't know of anyone teaching art by cart. And the Fine Arts Center is a great investment for students who don't go away to our campus. So I'm pretty familiar with Greenville County schools, and for a countywide system, we really are doing well. I was not an advocate for a large countywide system until I came here and put my kids in Greenville County schools. So we're doing a lot of things right in Greenville County.
Before I close us today, I promised Elizabeth Razor that she could come speak very briefly about Career Day, which is coming up at our next regular meeting in April.
Thank you. Yes, our next meeting in April, it's going to be April the 11th, is Rotary Career Day. And we're so excited. It's always such a great annual event. It makes a big impact among Greenville County School students, and it's not a whole lot of our time. Just wanted to especially thank Greenville Tech for their sponsorship. So they're paying for all the lunches. We are going to have 2 Zoom orientations. They are going to be Wednesday, April 5th at 5:30, and Thursday, April 6th at noon. Terry Weaver has graciously agreed to lead the Zoom training or the orientation. So I want to invite those of you who've signed up to participate as table hosts to attend. Even if you've done it before, we'd like you to participate again because you have valuable input. Wanted to give you a little bit of update on the attendance. We have about 60 students already enrolled and about 20 guidance counselors. We have a good participation rate with hosts and professional volunteers with the different career clusters. So thank y'all who have signed up. We do need more people in the healthcare sector. So it's kind of like a problem globally, I guess, but we do need some more professionals to speak in the healthcare sector. But it's a really great day and I really appreciate y'all participating, and we will see you on April the 11th. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, and the folks working to put that together. What a great meeting today. I feel energized. I hope you do too. I'm so energized by our young musicians and Dr. Adderley. I'm going to rededicate myself to my piano practice as soon as this evening. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to our new members. It's great to have you. Welcome to our guests. Be there at the Spring Social in 2 weeks. That's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you to the committee putting that together. And I think that's it, unless there's anything. We will be honoring, a number of you have mentioned, we lost a Rotary Club member last week in Jim Parham. We will be honoring him at our first meeting in April. And I know many of you have asked about that, and we do miss him. He was a great life of service, and we will give that its due at our meeting in April. So thank you all for being here today, and please stand and join me in the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? We are adjourned.